what? Now if you come here, another way, I want a notebook in my local machine. Okay, then how we can find the notebook in my local machine? Okay, by using pip you can install that particular notebook in my local machine. Pip stands for package installer python. If you want anything which is related to python, if you want to work, he is ready to provide you. First of all, in your machine, pip is there or not there? Okay, you can find like this. Just open your command prompt, just type pip. Whenever you type pip, if the pip is not available, you can get the error is like what? Okay, if not there, you can get the error. Pip is not found is an internal or external command. Internal or external command. Okay, if there, you can see some commands. you can you can see some commands like this. Okay, now see, in my mission, by seeing this one, pip is there or not there? Yes, there. But one thing you have to, okay, remember, okay, one thing you have to understand here. I didn't install pip separately, but still my pip is available or not. So if you install the latest, if you install the latest python software version, by default pip is available. By default pip is available. If you install like old python softwares, you may not get the pip. Then the time you have to install manually. But if you install 3.12 3.6 above, then the time pip is by default available. So no need to install the pip again externally. Now once my pip is available, I want a local notebook or not. So how we can make the notebook is available, pip install. Okay, just you can write like a Jupyter notebook. Okay, otherwise you can just notebook, you can write like a notebook. Pip install, okay, notebook, Jupyter notebook. Just install it. Okay, how we can install? Pip install Jupyter notebook. Okay, just install it. Pip install Jupyter notebook. Jupyter spelling. Think notebook, or I'm not sure. Okay, check it. See, already I installed that one. That the reason. Okay, requirement already satisfied. Okay, if you not install, just you can install it. Okay, now once it is installed, you can do one thing. In this particular folder, for my notebooks to store, create one folder called as a uh, notebook. Create one folder called as a notebook. In this notebook folder, open the command prompt. Just type, okay, here you have to open your Jupyter notebook. Okay, Jupyter notebook. Jupyter notebook. Now whenever you open this, now see, there is no internet, nothing is required. Whenever you open this one, okay, in your local machine, the same kind of Google Colab, whatever you found, okay, the same kind of, okay, user interface you can see here or not. Now go to the file, open, just click on the notebook. Now see this, a new notebook you can see here. Okay, just do select, and here whatever the program is there, you can run the program. Now see, if you compare the previous one and this one, here there is no internet, nothing is required. See, immediately you can see the output or not. Okay, this is not the Google Colab notebook, this is my local notebook or not. If you want to give the name, just you can give the name. Now you can rename it. So this is the way you can create, or okay, you can install the Jupyter notebook and you can create your own notebooks or not. Jupyter notebook command you can install and you can create the new notebook as per your requirement and run the program or not. Agreed everyone up to here? Up to here, okay?
Yes, sir.
The next one is in future, okay, we are going to use some of the IDEs like PyCharm, Anaconda, like that. I'm going to use like a PyCharm. This is the IDE. Whenever you are going to create a Python project, that time we are going to create our project in our PyCharm IDE. Okay, that time we are going to discuss. Okay, it is like a commercial. Okay, you have a pre trial version also, you can install it. For now it's not required. For now we are going to use our notebook. Another one is like VS Code only. At last we are going to use the IDE. Okay na? This is the way you can set up the environment in your local machine. So the next one, so far you written the program na? You written the program. Okay, in the VS Code only you written one program. Okay, what is the procedure you followed? First, okay, create a file with the extension, what, with the extension, with the .py extension or not. Okay, extension or not. So you created like hello.py. After that, in the hello.py we are going to write some code or not? Yes or no? What kind of code we are going to write? Hello.py. What kind of code we are going to write? That code, that is your requirement. Based on your requirement, whatever the code you want, you can write it. But my code is like very simple statement: print hello world. That's it. Okay. Now if you want to see the output, how we can run this particular hello.py, how we can run? We have command called as a py. When this command is available, when this command is available, when this command is available, whenever you install the Python software, then the time this command is available or not. Py, I want to run which program? Hello.py. Now you can see the output is like what? My output is like hello world. Hello world. Yes or no? Hello world. Now again I'm telling, don't think more what is this print and everything. Don't think more about that one. Okay, my requirement is, okay, I want to tell something about how to get this output internally, what kind of process okay, what kind of process executed. Okay, what is the procedure they followed, what is the process to get this particular output. Okay, that is the discussion. So let me run this one in my, in my, come on, in my VS Code. Don't use notebook, directly you can run it. Okay, now come here. Hello.py is my file. Now here, what is the code? Print hello world is my code. How we can run this? How we can run this file? Py. What is my file name? Hello.py. Now you can get the output is like what? Okay, hello world. But I didn't get it. Why? Because this particular file is not saved. See the difference between this one and this one? There has a dot is there. See, that means it is not saved. Now you can save it. Whenever you save, okay, you can run again. Now you can see the output is like what? Hello world or not? Yes or no? Now my discussion is about what, you know, whenever you run this particular command to get this output to internally what happened, that is the requirement, that is my discussion. Whenever you run this particular command to get this output to internally what happened. Okay, If I run this one directly, output I'm getting, but internally what happened, that is the discussion. Okay, so let's go. First, this is my program, right? Now let me open the paint. Now the file name is what? Step by step we can come. What is my file name? hello.py. Yes. What is my code? Print hello world is my code. Okay now. So whatever the code you written inside the Python file or any C file or Java file or .NET file, this code we can say terminology wise what you know, this is called as a source code. Terminology wise we can say inside the file whatever you written that code we can say like a source code. Terminology wise we can say like a source code. Yes or no? Understood everyone? So now first step is what? You written some source code. Okay, my code is this one. This is my code. Yes no? This is my code. Okay then. Okay, next step. What is my next step? Come on, in general you written something, you written some, okay, code, one line or 10 lines or 100 lines, it is not a matter. Now if you write some code, you followed the guidelines or rules, somebody has to check or not. Yes or no? You written some program, that is correct or not, somebody has to check or not? Somebody has to check or not? Yes no? So who is going to check, that is the question. Now I run which command? Py hello.py. Whenever I run this command, directly I get the output, right? What is this output? I can get it in my terminal. What output I can see? Hello world. This is my output or not? But my question is, whenever you run this particular command internally in this gap, okay, what kind of process, what is the procedure to get that output? That is the discussion. Okay, can anyone tell? You written some code in the hello.py. You written some code in the hello.py. Whatever you written the code, that is called as a source code or not? This source code you written, right? This source code is like, okay, having some errors or not? Okay, whatever you written the code, that is correct or not? Somebody has to check or not? Who is going to check? You know, in between there has one person come into the picture. That person name is like a translator. That person name is like what? Translator. Picture, who is coming to the picture? Whatever you written the source code, okay, you followed guidelines or not? Okay, somebody has to check. Who is going to check? Okay, that is one person is there. That person name is like a translator. Okay, the person name is like translator. Okay, so there has multiple translators are there in the industry. Okay, there has multiple people are there to check whether the code you written, that is like valid or invalid, you followed guidelines or not. There has multiple people are there. You can select one of the person to check he is like going in the right way or not. So there has mainly two types of translators are there. One is like, okay, interpreter. Another one is like compiler. One is like what? Compiler. Another one is like interpreter. There has multiple translators are there. The name is like what? One is like compiler. Another one is like a interpreter. Understood? In Python programming language, okay, they use it like, okay, compiler and interpreter. Difference is what, you know? In your Python program, 100 lines of code is there. Compiler, what he is going to do, you know, at a time only he is going to check 100 lines, okay, whether it is like valid or invalid. All the lines at a time it is going to check. All the lines at a time it is going to check. But interpreter, what he is going to do, you know, okay, he is going to check if you have 100 lines, it is like line by line he is going to check, okay, he followed the guidelines or not, like that. Okay, interpreter, if you allocate, he is going to check line by line. Compiler, if you allocate, he is going to check all the lines at a time. Compiler and interpreter both are come under translator only. Okay, so first whatever you written the source code, that source code taken by translator and check that code is like valid or invalid. That means he followed the guidelines or not, syntactically everything is okay or not. So they use it like a compiler. Now once everything is okay, he is going to create a compiled file. Okay, that means this is like a human readable print, hello world, you are able to read it or not. Now once the code is like compiled, that is turned to be like a machine readable. That is turned to be like what? Machine readable. Machine readable is nothing but what? It is like a zeros, ones and everything. This is called as what? Compiled file. Compiled file. It is like a machine readable or not. It is like a compiled file. It is a machine readable. Once my compilation is completed, okay, it is like converted into, it is converted into what? It is converted into what? It is converted into compiled code. Okay, everything is okay then only. All are agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, my translator translate your code in the machine readable format. Machine readable format means what? Zeros, ones and everything or not. Now this particular compiled code, okay, taken by somebody and to generate the output or not, somebody has to take that mission level, okay, mission readable code, zeros and ones, and they has to prepare the output or not. Yes or no? They has to prepare that output or not. Yes, no? Okay, so who is going to take that one? Who is going to take it? I have a, what now? I have a compiled code. Now who is going to show some output? Who is going to show some output? There has one more person come into the picture. In general, okay, that is like a microprocessors, right? Microprocessors are going to, okay, generate your outputs, which is like print inside the command prompt or whatever it is or not. Okay, microprocessors. Okay, here the problem what, you know, these microprocessors to generate the output, first of all they has to understand this compiled code or not. They has to understand this compiled code or not. But the problem is my microprocessors not able to understand this Python compiled code. Okay, microprocessors, if you give the understandable format, they convert into again the human readable. But here my Python compiled code, he is not able to understand. That the reason he is not able to generate the output. If you leave like this only, he is not able to generate the output. So this microprocessor, somebody is going to help to understand this compiled code to generate the output. Who is going to help to my microprocessor to understand this particular compiled code to generate the output? There has one more person come into the picture. That person name is like PVM. PVM stands for Python Virtual Machine. This PVM helps to my microprocessor to understand this particular compiled code to generate this output or not. So finally, whenever you run this particular command, you can get the output is like what? Hello world or not. Agreed everyone? The process, okay, very simple. First you have to create one hello.py. Okay, whatever the file you can create, file name can be anything, the extension should be .py. Whatever the code you written, terminology wise that code we can say like what? Terminology wise that code you can say like what? Come on, terminology wise you can say that code. like a
Source code.
source code.
Source
Now
code.
once you create, okay, source code is like a human readable, Python is like a human readable language or not, so it's like a high level. Now come here, this source code, who can take it? Okay, that somebody check you followed the guidelines and rules, okay, your syntax is correct or not, somebody is going to check or not. Who is going to check? There has some translator, okay, we have some translators to check, okay, this code is like valid or not. If it is like valid, they are going to compiled or not. There has multiple translators are there. One of the translator is like what, compiler, another one is like interpreter. The difference between compiler translator and interpreter translator is what? Compiler translator, at a time it is going to compile all the source code. Interpreter, it is going to compile the code is like, okay, I mean, okay, translate the code into machine readable format, line by line, line by line. This is everything at a time. 100 lines of code is there, 100 lines at a time, it is going to convert into machine readable format. But here it is going to convert line by line. Okay, there has two types of translators. Now once the code is like compiled, okay, the compiled code is like what, machine readable format. The code is like in the machine readable format code or not. Now this machine readable code, okay, my microprocessor has to take to generate the output or not. My microprocessor not able to understand Python compiled code. My microprocessor not able to understand the Python compiled code. Then the time it needs some help from some other person to understand that particular compiled code to generate the human readable output or not. Who helps to my microprocessor to understand the compiled Python code and generate the human readable output? Who is going to help to my microprocessor? My PVM, Python virtual machine, it is going to help to generate the output or not. This is the way your Python program internally, okay, process and generate the output. All are okay?
Okay, sir.
Now here if you observe, this compiled code is there, right? Are you able to see that compiled code? See this? Are you able to see this compiled code? Are you able to see this compiled code? See, to my sum, are you able to see the compiled code? To my hello.py, are you able to see the compiled code? No, right? By default those are not available. If you want, you can see by using one of the module called as a, okay, Python py-m py compile hello.py. If you click on this one, see here three items are there. If I click on enter, you can see one more item also. It gives me, what is that? COMPILE py-m. Okay, I can get it from here. What happened? File save error and it's not required, right? Leave it. This is not required. Can I leave it? Yeah. Now COMPILE compile hello.py, right? That's okay. Now I need that command to see the, come on, to see the compiled Python file. Does it gives me something? Now this is the one. Accept all the cookies for now. Python py underscore hyphen not underscore, okay, m py underscore compile hello.py. Can you come here? Yes. Now see, there has underscore py cache underscore generated. If I open this one, are you able to see? Are you able to see this one? PYC Python compile file. If you click on the open anyway in the text editor, are you able to understand this code? This is your Python compiled code or not? This is your Python compiled code for which program? Hello.py program or not? Yes or no? Come on. Okay, by using which command?
Yes, sir.
You can see, if you want to see your compiled code, okay, how we can see the compiled code? Py -m, it's like a module. You can get some more idea later. Py underscore compile, py underscore compile your program name hello.py. Okay, now once you run this one, you can see what? You can see your compiled Python file. Okay, up to here. Okay, everyone. Okay, then now can you do one thing? Can you go to this website? Okay, go to Python. Can you complete first introduction, installation, and coding introduction? First 3 chapters. Can you complete? This is the website. Let me share you in the chart. Go to this website. First 3 chapters you can complete it, and install Python. Okay, run the Python program in 5 ways. Okay, first one is like command prompt, second one is like Visual Studio Code, third one is like Google Colab, fourth one is like online editor, fifth one is like okay my local notebook. Okay, all these you can try. If you stuck with something, we'll see in the next session. Okay, first these 3 you can complete it. Okay, any questions so far? Anyone? Any questions? No? Okay, then.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir, to write Python program, which software can be installed, sir?
to write the
To write programs, sir, Python programs.
okay, Python software you have to install, right? Python software only you have to install Python software.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, I'm going to share you the videos also, last 3 sessions. Just you can go through those videos. Okay, if you enroll automatically you can get the videos, links and everything. Okay, if you're not enrolled, just you can enroll the course from vtsschool.com website, so that you can get the videos links. Okay, then, so the next session is on Monday. Tomorrow and after tomorrow no sessions. Okay, we'll continue. The next session is on Monday. Thank you guys, thanks for joining. Bye.
Thank you, sir.